Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League's Chaos Cup. We're in week number 9. We are in the final game in Division C here in regulation play this evening. It's going to be a very interesting matchup. Tonight, we're going to have Entanglements versus Nerdstrum's Nosecount, Conkill versus War Horseman, Imperial Nobility versus Norse. Let's take a look at the standings before we take a look at the two teams up this evening. In Division A, look at this. The top 5 teams still in contention. 4 of those teams will be making the cut to the quarterfinals after this week. In first place is currently Ajax and their Fishy Fiends. Their Chaos Renegades team, they're 5-1-2. El Nuberinos de Gutterballs in second place. An Orc team, also 5-1-2. In third place, the Believe Broncos, coached by BB Nutt. They're a Nurgle team, they're 5-1-1. JD Whitey's Blitzburg Steelers still in this competition as well. They're a Skaven team in fourth place. They're 4-3-0. And Galeshi's the Birds of a Feather in fifth. An Elven Union team, 4-2-1 is their record. Division B is all but set with the top 2 teams advancing to the quarterfinals. In first place is Spire's Philosopher's Song. They're a Lizardman team. They're 4-2-1. And Chime's Conspicuous Disunion in second place. They're a Necromantic Horror team, undefeated with a lot of draws too, 6-0. And in Division C, this is set as well with Moob's NC Snakes in first place, advancing to the quarterfinals as the top seed. They are a Dark Elf team. They're 6-2-0 with Clypheus's Odin and Snuffle dethroning the Dinnerbell Darlings this week. They're in second place. They're a Norse team. They're 5-2-1. They'll be advancing to the semifinals. Boy, did I just call that? They're advancing to the quarterfinals. First up, the home team this evening, coached by Conkill, is Entanglements. This is an Imperial Nobility team. They have 2 blitzers on the roster. They have all 4 bodyguards. They have a thrower and a bunch of linos as well. 1 apothecary, 3 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. Their team value is 1,255,000 gold. Oh, welcome to the stream, everyone. Bad Dog Demanding Death, Bad Dog Festoon, Nurgles Rat, Eridus. Welcome all to the stream. Glad to have you here tonight. I have a meeting tonight. I'm going to see if I can try to get out of it. I'm not feeling it today. They're going to be up against the Norse team, Nerdstrum's Nosecount. They have a pretty beat up roster here, and you tend to, I mean, that tends to happen with fragile teams, right? You have these Norse that are pretty frail with AV 8+ across much of the board here. Has the big guy in the Yeti, has the 2 Ulfwereners, 2 Valkyries, a Beer Boar, and a bunch of linemen. That's it. Just a couple of linemen. We'll have to pick up 3 journeymen since 2 of these linemen are not starting this week due to injury. I'm sorry, one of the linemen, one of the Berserkers. Big loss in the Berserker this week, as that is a leveled Berserker with Tackle and Mighty Blow. 3 linemen will cover the gap. 1 Oppo, 2 dedicated fans, 2 rerolls. That brings their team value. Segdor Slip says, death only makes the Norse stronger. That brings their TV up to 870,000 gold. With 150k in Journeyman, that's 1,020,000 gold. So 230,000 gold in petty cash will be going to the Norse team tonight. We'll talk about what they might do with that in just a moment. But let's take a look at the home team first. This Imperial team, so an Imperial team is a control team. What do we mean by that? We mean they have skills to control the pitch. Look at the linemen. They all have Fen. That means when a block's taken against them, you cannot follow up, unless, of course, Conkill decides not to use the Fen skill. But Fen keeps you from following up, so you can't keep that mark. That's going to be a very big skill in this matchup tonight. The bodyguards as well. They all have stand firm and wrestle. Wrestle treats a both, or can treat a both down result as a safe result. So on a both down result, the bodyguard can say, you know what? We're both going to the ground. We're going to wrestle to the ground. There's no armor break. There's no turnover. It keeps these players safe, but more importantly, I think in this matchup, it knocks down the opposing piece, which means that piece is not blocking you next turn. Stand firm, of course, is obvious. They will stay right where they are. They can. They're great. Great anchors for that reason. They can try to stay on the pitch. They don't have a lot of strength that a lot of stand firm pieces do to try to really anchor down on the pitch, but still you have 4 of them. 1 has guard as well. The 2 noble blitzers, these guys are going to be putting in a lot of work in this roster. These blitzers fill a double role, very similar to the Valkyries on a Norse team. These are blitzers, but they're also catchers. They have block, they have catch, they have dodge. 1 has sidestep, so you have a blodger with sidestep. That's great. 1 has jump up. That's also great. Jump up means He doesn't have to spend 3 of his many MA to stand up, so this player can get around even when knocked down. This is a team that wants to control the pitch. They're up against the Norse team that they want to take blocks, right? They're very, very bashy in terms of skills. They have lots of block, lots of frenzy, but in order to keep their players safe, which they have to do because their AV is so low, this involves positioning. And when you're up against a team that is built for positioning, that puts you at a pretty significant disadvantage, I think. It's going to be an uphill climb here for the Norse team in this matchup. War Horseman's really going to have to find a way to reposition these pieces where he can maximize his blocks while keeping his players safe. Going to be real tough to do against those opposing linemen with Fend. Might try to pivot and maybe go after some of the other positionals instead, just to try to keep blocking players down and trying to get those removals. Does have the Yeti with Claw. That's a pretty great skill, right? Claw treats everybody's AV as if it's an 8+. You can see they have, generally speaking, an average AV of 9+ almost across the board. The linemen are a little brittle, so the Yeti probably not going toe-to-toe with the linemen, probably going to leverage that skill, leverage Claws to try to go after some of these tougher opponents to bring their AV down to A+, try to get those removals. It's going to be very, very difficult to keep all these pieces on the Norse team positioned in such a way where they're not going to take some blocks coming back. That Yeti does have Claw, but has Frenzy. Has to follow up on all those blocks. Mediocre Greatness says lineman immune to Claws. That's right. They're 8+. The Claw doesn't matter, and that's why that Yeti probably going to go after some of these other pieces that have 9+. In fact, I think War Horseman will have to do that if he wants to come out on top tonight. Lots of players with Frenzy. 4 players with Frenzy means that these Frenzy blocks are going to have to be very, very judicious. He'll have to decide, you know what, is it worth it to go for this blitz or this block? Because if I follow up, am I now out of position and now up against a team where I can't push them out of the way, or maybe I can't knock them back? Can I get my guy back in the drive to continue taking blocks? It's going to be tricky. It's going to be real tricky, but he will have 230K in petty cash to spend. There's a number of star players that could certainly be a Helmet Wolf and a Cindy Pie Whistle, although they are secret weapons. Could also pick up Carlo Von Kill or Mighty Zug. I think I might pick up Zug. For 220K, you get a Strength 5, you get Block and Mighty Blow, and you get this once per game skill where you can get a +1 on Mighty Blow called Crushing Blow. This really leans into that bashy game that the Norsemen try to play, and this is a very safe player to do it with. So maybe we see Zug come onto the pitch here this evening. Maybe not. We'll see what War Horseman decides to do with this final 230K in petty cash that I'll have for this competition. Very, very beat up team as well. 3 players with Loner. Not great. It's not great. Spire says, how much of that will be Journeyman? That's already discounting the Journeyman. So minus the 150 for Journeyman, it should be 230K going to the Norse team. I love this pitch, man. This is beautiful. I love this. So even though it's week 9, both teams have been eliminated, meaning they will not make it to the quarterfinals. This does not mean this game doesn't matter. If these teams are going to be moving forward to the Spike Magazine Trophy, SPP matters. Absolutely matters. Trying to kid out these teams and level them up throughout the season. So Entanglement, yeah, there's the 230K. So 230K available to Nerdrum's Nosecount. Entanglements, the, what's the opposite of an underdog? Overdog? So it doesn't even have to be a star player. Could pick up a wizard. That might be an option. Might go ham with the bribes. Who knows? Spire says, and points for the Blood Bowl. That is true. Or an opportunity to make the Blood Bowl, that is. But yes, points absolutely do matter for trying to make the cut into the Blood Bowl. That is absolutely true. Looks like Warhorseman is going to pick up Mighty Zug here. So again, this is a Strength 5 player with Mighty Blow, with block. That's a fantastic piece. AV 10 plus. Moob says favorite? Favorite as in which team do I favor in this matchup? Nosecount wins the coin toss. They'll choose to receive. Boy, I had a really productive day today. I ate some cake. It's delicious. And then I bitched about stuff after I was done working or not to a friend, but with a friend. But every now and again, you got to do that. You got to do that. You need that catharsis. All right, so setting up in columns here, the Imperial Nobility team, 3 on the line. Columns to screen out this Norse team. Oh no, I missed something. There we go. So these columns, you can see screening out the pitch to either side, and then the 3 linemen covering mid-pitch. SB Beaver says, wait, is eating cake what makes a day productive? No. I have this giant pile of Masters of the Universe toys I bought weeks ago, and I've been slowly working my way through them. Because I like to take them out of the package, play with them for a little bit, like a few days, and then pose them and take pictures and then put them up on the shelf. So I'm like maybe 2/3 of the way through, and I have a like a showroom for them, So I haven't put them up there yet. So they're all on my dining room table. I have a diorama basically of He-Man shit on my on my dining room table. I even have Castle Grayskull. Turn 2 for the Nosecount here to start the game after the timeout. Lost a turn, so it'll be a 7-turn half. Gets Powell on the right defensive end, gets a knockdown here. Mighty Zug, the right guard for the offense. Now on the block, gets the knockdown here. 8+ breaks armor. No armor break. Failed the Unchanneled Fury roll with the Yeti. So the Yeti, unfortunately, just going to hang out on the line, but that's fine. That is a Yeti with a strength of 5 holding down the fort. Now a knockout on the left defensive end. Still no armor break. Bad Dog says, I used to have those when I was a kid. Yeah, they're cool. Well, I don't know if cool's the right word. SV Beaver says, I hope your house is a real-life Toy Story. I don't, because I feel I would be overthrown very quickly. A minute to go here for the Nosecount on offense. Taking the block to the line, still have their blitz. A number of players with block to take the blitz. They're going to pick the ball up first and advance it to their own 6-yard line. Yeah, I just opened up Manny. Oh, taking the foul! Wow! +2 on the foul, gets a stun out of it, does not get called off the pitch. That'll be the turn. Turn 2 now for Entanglements. Has 1 player in reserve. And that's a beer bore. Yeah, I opened up Manny Faces, which, if you're unfamiliar, is a guy who has many faces. So he has 3 faces. You can spin like this little knob on his head to change his faces. But I got the one that's part of a line called Masterverse New Eternia. Anyway, the point is, he has 6 faces. It's awesome. Two die blitz in the left wide zone. Gets a push on Tom Zarek. Tom Zarek, president of the human fleet, on their way to find Earth. Definitely not a Cylon. Bull Moose, the number 5 bodyguard, dodges away from the Yeti. Repositions the defense in the secondary, and that will be the end of the turn. Turn 3 now for Nerdrum's Nosecount. Herodis says, but Tom is a terrorist. Shh! We don't know that yet. That story arc hasn't developed yet. Spoiler, definitely a Cylon. Two-die block over in the left wide zone. Gets a knockdown due to the block skill here. This will be a wrestle down. So both players knocked down, not a turnover. That's that wrestle skill we talked about. On a both down result, a player with wrestle can choose to take it as a both down, but with no armor break and no turnover. Werner, the rookie lineman, to cover the front of the ball carrier. Shakara Old Branch. Number 10, Valkyrie. MA7 on Valkyrie, very fast piece. Well, fairly fast piece, I guess I should say. I would say, generally speaking, MA6 is average. Unlike some of these other skills, like AV, your movement allowance actually is linear, so one point is just 1 point. Three-die block gets the pal here with the Mighty Zug. Again, 8+ will break armor. Town Square not deciding whether to be pushed back or not. I can't get the armor break. Roll a 6. Mr. Rocker Crocker, welcome to the stream. Reese Witherspoon? Are you kidding? Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Boo! Boo this man! Wait. What just happened? Why did you delete Festoon's message? do you not like laughter? Oh, man. Turn 3 for Entanglements. Mr. Rocker Crocker with the dad joke, and Festoon gets punished for laughing. Turn 3. Mr. Rocker Crocker said, ever ban the wrong chatter? No, I don't think so. Entanglements on defense here. Ball caged up on the 4-yard line. Still in the hands of Old Branch. Two-die block over on the left wide zone here. The ball on the right side of the pitch. Gets a push out of this. Now a 2-die here against Margor. Margor, the journeyman. Gets a push, does not follow up. One die block against Mighty Zug. Got the POW here. Looking for a 10+. Doesn't get it. Good blitz. Good blitz by Conkill. Now the Zug will not be able to block this turn. Could still blitz, but of course you can only blitz once a turn. Spire says, I like Buddy's like he's a nice solid no-frill star player. Mr. Oh god. Alright, I'll indulge. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, I already told the one about my ninja training class, right? Von Rue has heard it already. You have not told the one about your ninja training class. Hey, SB Beaver with the gifted sub. Thank you very much. Why is the notification noise wrong? But thank you very much for the gifted sub. I appreciate it. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, I think I prefer Zug to Morg. Cheaper, less of a target, and let you get other stuff. I think I prefer Morg, but you're right. It is cheaper and less of a target. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. The other day I went to my ninja training class. Next day my sensei emailed me saying he hadn't seen me in class. Best compliment ever. And I got an A. Two-Dive Blitzer on Bull Noose gets a push out of this. He'll stand firm, but the Frenzy follow-up here will be a knockdown. No armor break. Offense repositioning a little bit here. Looks like they're gonna try to move up this way, but if so, they need to cover this side and the front and the back. Two-Dive block on the right side of the pitch. Gets a stun out of this. Flog the shadow of Moorsleed. The level 2 Valkyrie on the block. And now that she's blocked, she's gonna stay put. Two-Dive blocked by Bumble gets a POW here. 8+ with Claw will break armor. Doesn't get it. Hey, Jax, welcome to the stream. You missed Mr. Rocker Crocker's stand-up comedy routine. Nerdrum's Nosecount back on the bonus box. And not moving to the left, moving to the right instead. We'll cage up just inside the right wide zone, keeping the ball on the 4-yard line. That'll be the end of the turn. Turn 4 now for Entanglements. Remember, this is a short half with the timeout. There's 1 turn down, so this is a 7-turn half. Oh, Festoon with the sub! The gifted sub, thank you so very much! Thank you very, very much for your generosity. We were just lamenting the lack of an Ajax in the channel. And now, thankfully, that has been corrected. I don't know why the notification sounds are wrong. I wonder if I can fix it. Two-Dive Blitz gets a push here. Pat Cloverhitch on the blitz. One of the 2 blitzers. This is the one with the jump up. Yeah, I don't know why the noise isn't working. What is happening here? Oh, you know what it is? I didn't have it set for gifted subs. That's what it was. There we go. Now we fixed it. Now we fixed it. I didn't have it set for gifted subs. Two-die block breaks armor here. Bumble with that claw, treating the AV as an 8+, gets the knockdown on Ollie Sheepbend, gets a stun out of it. Now a two-die block against Bull Noose will get the knockdown here, but probably going to wrestle down. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, my local dairy farm is putting out eggnog currently. Do people like some nice eggnog in 60 plus degree weather? I don't like eggnog at any temperature. Yes, thank you again, Festoon, for the gifted sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, S. Beaver, as well. Oh, God. Oh, God. Where's Clypheus? This is Clypheus' time to shine. The one day that I'm entertaining this. Aaron, it says, so I made a paper airplane today, but when I threw it, it just stayed there in the air hovering. That's when I realized that it's stationary. Nosecount's going to move the ball up to the opposing 4-yard line. Oh boy, just behind the stunned Ollie Sheepbend. This means this cage will have to move next turn. Two-die blitz by Mighty Zug. Got the pal here on Henry. Rolling hitch. Needs just the 7+ to break armor. There it is. The first removal of the day. One-man player advantage for this Norse team against Entanglements. Well done. Yeah, I think Mighty Zug was the right inducement pick. All right, turn 5 now for Entanglements. Yes, Zug stealing SPP from these hardworking Norsemen. I know. Who do you think you are? Oh, yeah, that's right. You are a star. I am sorry, Mr. Zug. My apologies. Can I get you an iced latte? Two-die blitz against the number 5. Journeyman gets a pal here. Michael Bolin on the blitz. Gets the armor break and even up the odds. Cannot get the stun out of it. Erda says, I love Zug. His story in the campaign in BB2 was fun. I was gonna say I don't think, but I know I never finished that in BB2. I did the sponsors thing in BB3. Ended up, I know S. Beaver ended up the same way, but ended up with playing a team with 2 Griffs in the very end. Two-die block gets Tom Zarek, gets the knockdown here. No armor break. Lineman fairly fragile with an 8+, still staying on the pitch though. Could it be because you're made of metal? Turn 6 now for the nose count. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, I ran flings at a tabletop event in early January. Failed a lot of dodges that resulted in armor breaks. I made a habit of telling my opponents that I was denying them the casualty tiebreakers. Two-die blitz with the Mighty Zug. Gets a dodge push out of this against Michael Bolin. Michael Bolin is a blodger, don't forget. Only a pal's going to knock him down. Electric Span says, I missed the beginning. Did I miss any excitement? No, not really. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Mr. Rocker Crocker says 3+ dodges, and all I could roll were 2s and 1s. 3+ dodges with rerolls. Now 2-die block on Bull News, back behind the line of scrimmage. Gets a push here. Nosecount pretty beat up going into this game. Had to pick up 3 journeymen. Wonder if War Horsemen will continue to field this team in the Spike Magazine trophy. It can be tricky to decide sometimes. Sometimes you're like, you know what? I'm just going to see what I can do. I'm going to go all 3 open competitions with the same team and just let it rock and see what happens. Sometimes coaches are like, you know what? I'm too beat up. I'm just going to roll a new team. Sometimes coaches are like, you know what? I tried a new team. Don't really like how they play. I'm going to switch it up and play something else. Clavius, welcome to the stream. Clavius says, someone said there were ridiculous jokes in the channel. I don't know, but I'm here now. So there's at least one joke in the channel now. No, not at all. SB says, I thought with Stunty they were all 2+ dodges. No, Stunty and Titchy will make it 2+, yeah. So like a snot lane is always a 2+. Oh, jeez. Mr. Rocker Crocker said every time one of my students asks if I want to hear a joke, I quickly respond with, no thanks. I've seen your grades. Nosecount back on the bonus clock here. 6 minutes, 30 seconds to go. They're just about 60 seconds out on the clock. Plenty of time left for the game. Trying to figure out where they want to end this turn. This cage currently quite marked. I guess I should get ready for this meeting. I don't want to be in this meeting, man. I just don't want to do it. I'll join it, but I'll see if I can leave it. All right. Meeting starts in 5 minutes. I've got it queued up. I am sitting, says owner of the company says, F it, I don't want to be in this meeting, I'm leaving. Yeah, but I mean, I should be there. So I'll stick it out. Turn 6 now for entanglements. Ball carrier now on the opposing 2-yard line in a precarious situation. Claffy says that's the nice thing about being the owner. It is. I mean, it is in principle, but then you realize that nobody's going to pick up there's nobody there to pick up your slack, you know what I mean? So, 1-die blitz here by Ali Sheetben re-rolls the skull into a push. That's 1 push on the ball carrier. The ball carrier is going to remain standing after the blitz. Plus, it's just like, it's just not cool to just tell like your peers, your co-owners, like, hey, forget it. I'm not going to talk to you today. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, being the owner really sucks when you're the only employee and you have to talk to an employee about tricking on the job. Oh, gets a foul out of this. with no assists. He had 1 assist on the foul, gets a stun out of it, does not get called off the pitch. Good stun, stunning the Valkyrie. Valkyrie, maybe the most important piece on the Norse team. Another block on Zug's gonna get the knockdown here. Looking for a 10 plus. Doesn't get it. Yeah, I don't like having to deliver bad news. I mean, I'll do it. The thing is, like, I understand everybody's got their own incentives. Like, I can't expect someone who's an employee to have the same incentive I do, and so I don't. But at some level, you're all on the same team, right? So you're all working towards the same goal to some degree. And when that's not happening, I hate having to have those conversations because, A, it just sucks. B, you don't want to hurt anyone, but if you don't do it, then things just get worse. So you have to do it, and you have to do it quickly. And I think I'm of the opinion that you don't just let it slide, because people deserve to know when they're doing good, and they deserve to know when they're doing bad. They deserve to have you be straight with them. So I think feedback is very, very important. But I hate those conversations. 2-9 block gets Ollie sheet bend here. Gets the knockout thanks to the block skill, but it's going to be a wrestle. Mr. Rocker Crocker asks, what kind of business are you in? Software. So we write, how much should I say? we write real estate software. So we write software for real estate dispositions. Two-die blitz here against Carl Carrickbend. Is that how you pronounce that? I write squirkles. Yeah, I've been in. So I'm a software engineer myself, and I've worked in a lot of different industries. I got started in video games. I did healthcare and finance and government work. And one day, somebody I worked with was just like, "Hey, I know this guy. Got an idea. Sounds like a good idea." I said you would be the guy to head up the tech stuff. I was like, okay. So we had a meeting. One thing led to another, and so here we are. And so far, it's been working out well. So. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, I wish I had majored in computer science, but they didn't have CS classes in my high school. I was 30 before I realized how much I enjoyed basic coding. Never too late to start. If it makes you feel any better, I'm old enough where CS wasn't in high school at all. I'm old enough that computer science, when I was in university, was still part of the College of Mathematics, which I think it still should be, but whatever. Yeah, never too late to start learning anything, really. We live in a... Oh, I got my meeting. I'll tell you in a minute. Oh boy, this is so loud. All right. Boy, this is so loud in my ear. My goodness. Anyway, turn 7 here for Entanglements. They have the ball, the opposing 8-yard line, just off the left sideline now. Clivey says, sorry, I had stuff to say in the meeting. Ball now on the sideline on the 6-yard line. All right, let me catch up here. All right, sorry. sorry. It's, you know how these meetings go. Tuesday meetings, I always stream. And I shouldn't. But then I have stuff to say. All right, let me catch up here. Clivey says, I'm still mourning for the loss of my loyal billboard. Sorry, I got called out by name. Somebody asked me how I was. Lost my loyal billboard in my last game. Poor guy. We had a bit of a party to solemnly mark his demise. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, I wish I had majored in pure science. We've already covered that, haven't we? Clivey says, I got bit by a magic python who bit me. I saw the magic of programming, and when I woke up from a coma, I realized that I could now program in JavaScript. Well, good for you. Aaron just said all I had was typing. Yep, me too. At least in high school. Clivey says, I slept through programming in C++ in college and still got the best grade in the class. Does that count for anything? When the room got quiet, I would wake up, answer the question, go back to sleep. Maybe it counts for a little. Mr. Rocker Cracker says, I took CS classes 5 years back so I could teach them at a high school level. When my last school downsized, they cut the CS program. And that was the final straw. I've talked to a lot of former students who said they would have taken CS classes if they'd been offered them when they were still in high school. I would have 1,000% taken those classes if were I in high school. Oh. even died. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Somebody said something, and I had to speak to it. Why aren't the others in your meeting watching the game? I have actually tried to get them to watch these games, and they have zero interest in Blood Bowl. Minute to go on the final turn of the half. So Entanglements stopping the score here while I'm in a meeting. Take an uphill block on number 2 here. Gets the push. These Ulf Warriors have a strength of 4, so it can be difficult to get the 2-die block. Iron Cynic said, I went to junior college, spent 1 semester in a programming class, and said, nope, not doing this for the rest of my life. 0-0 at the half. Entanglement's going to be on offense. Good job stopping the score here. Yeah, so like when I was a freshman, we had lots of students. And every semester, every year I would say I noticed, but every semester there'd be less and less and less students. Seems to not be for everybody. I loved it. I've been writing software since I was a kid. It's something I really appreciate from my parents. They got me a computer when I was real young. I had a Tandy Coco 2 as my first computer, and then the very next year I got a Commodore 64. I learned PET Basic and 6502 assembly, and later on learned C++, and then it was off to the races, I guess. It's what I've always wanted to do. I made a game when I was a kid. I actually brought this up in my very first interview. Again, I got started in video games, and when I was a kid, probably 12, I'd say, I made a video game. I made a Robotech video game. I love Robotech. And I had a little cassette tape that was like you would buy a book that would come with a cassette tape, and they would like read the story like in the character voices and stuff. And what I made this game where at certain points in the game, I had little cutscenes, I guess you could call them, and it would play the audio from the cassette tape because I had a cassette drive, and you could just play the audio. Not an audiobook, but I guess kind of an audiobook. I was very proud of it, so I brought that up in my interview. I got hired. All right, 3 on the line for the defense. Very shallow defense here for the Norse team. Shallow offense for the Imperial Nobility team as well. The beer bore on the pitch. Has to be, in fact. They're both sides. Oh, no. Wait. All right, so has the beer bore on the pitch decided to not take the lineman. But the Imperial Nobility team has to field who they field since Henry Rolling Hitch off the pitch. And now turn 9 for Entanglements. 3 rerolls left for the game. SP Beaver says, I made the mistake of not getting a CS degree, and then I just conned my way into a programming job. I doubt that. But congratulations nonetheless. Plays Blood Bowl. Check. Alive. Check. Wants to work. Check. I'll tell you. So I think software development has a problem with interviewing where a lot of people will give you like really convoluted, stupid logic problems for no good reason. I rebel against this. I hate this. I don't do it. So, good pickup on the sure hands roll here. Charles Windsor in possession of the ball on the 8-yard line. But honestly, what I look for in a candidate are 3 things. Are you competent? Are you cool? And can I afford you? That's it. So, so long as you're not asking for an insane salary, so long as I can feel confident that you're competent, and that doesn't mean having to solve a goofy... I had a job interview once where they asked me to like build like a heater for not actually build it, but like as a logic thing, like build a heater for a office building where something, something, something. And I'm like, what is this? But, you know, I think just talking to the candidate, maybe getting in front of a whiteboard and just kind of like, discussing, like talking shop. And then are you cool? Like, are you not going to be a jerk? That's it. That's it. Some combination of those three things. And if you're a junior, but I'm convinced you can learn, and you're cool, and I can afford you, that's much better than somebody who's a senior who is a jerk, in my opinion. 3 die block here by Bumble gets the push. Frenzy follow-up on the 3 die. Good positioning here. Clivey says, I'm going to make my next secretary have a designed single direction heat pump system for a multi-level apartment building and see how it goes. You joke, but that's kind of what it's like. SP Beaver says, oh, I had one similar. I was asked to build a hot water dispenser for brew tea. Isn't that ridiculous? 2 die block over the right wide zone. Gets a pal here. Gets an armor break, gets a stun. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, I thought teaching a mock lesson was bad enough. Weirdest interview experience ever. Best question, though, was what skills do you have in the event of a zombie apocalypse? SP Beaver says, it was for a company that made websites for weddings. I have no idea how it related. I'd be so angry. If I was interviewing for something like that and they asked me that, I'd be so angry. Black Wolf says, I'm in sales now, but to break into it, I had to start at the bottom. Number one question was, can you lift 50 pounds if yes, you're hired? Electric Fan's like, look, man, maybe they just wanted some tea. They thought you could help them out. Turn 10 now for Entanglements. They have the ball on their own 8-yard line. Mighty Zog at center pitch here, trying to hold down the fort along with that Yeti. 2 high-strength players at center pitch means that Entanglement's probably going to shift to the left or the right at some point here. Two-die blitz on the left side. Gets a dodge push out of this. Gets a knockdown. Why did he get the knockdown? Oh, because he doesn't have dodge. That's why. Good dodge to get Michael Bolin down pitch. Remember, these blitzers double as catchers. They have the catch skill, so they get a free reroll on a catch. That counts for a pass or a handoff. Oh, this had to have been a misclick. Ooh. Had to have been a misclick in the left wide zone. Tried to do a 6+ dodge. Failed the dodge and was removed for the trouble. For his trouble? For his trouble. Turn 10 now for Nerdrum's Nosecount. You know what? I'm just very proud of myself for not accidentally saying work stuff on stream. I'm doing very good. 2-dive blitz into a push. 1-dive frenzy follow-up. A little bit of a frenzy trap here, but gets a push out of it. Keeps the drive alive. Is he considering a reroll? He's going to spend the reroll. The greed! Gets a push out of it. So the Ulf Werder staying on the ball carrier. Did have the block skill, so it wasn't terribly greedy. James Lake Snack says, misclicking to accidentally dodge was my signature play earlier tonight. We've all been there. Food Polish says, I got you all beat. I got to strip to my underwear, but put my hands on my head to walk like a duck with 8 other dudes for an old man. That was just the beginning. Oh, that sounds lovely. Wrestle down on the left side of the line of scrimmage here. 47 seconds left in the turn. So I manage the stream, like the volume levels through like virtual devices. So long story short, my meeting is so, it's not literally loud, but like it's loud enough where it conflicts with the game, and it is so hard to speak coherently while somebody or a number of people, I suppose, are just like talking in your ear. It's not their fault, of course, but boy, I gotta fix that. SB Viewer says, your stream is always the quietest of the streams I watch. Yeah, so I actually bumped up the volume at the beginning of this week. Maybe I should do more. So the problem is, without getting into too much boringness, the problem is that I apply so I have a volume envelope, whatever. I apply a filter to the commentary audio, and that has to be a certain volume compared to everything else, and I don't have a lot of wiggle room left on the like it is almost as loud as I could make it without picking up, without it sounding worse. So it's difficult to kind of manage all those sliders, so to speak. I could just readjust my filter, but I don't know, man. There's a million things to do. Some things are just at the bottom of the list. Minute 3 on the clock here for Entanglements. They have the ball in the hands of their thrower, Charles Windsor. These throwers have an MA of 6. They have throw. They also have throw. They have nerves of steel, but they also have running pass here. So if they do a quick pass, then they don't have to stop their movement. They can keep moving. Situational skill, but can be very valuable. Another failed dodge. Oh! The reroll works out on the 5+ dodge. Priscilla Presnott gets into position here, taking a mark against Old Branch, the number 10 Valkyrie. SP Beaver says, why filter? Let us hear your Transformers come to life for over 3. So the filter is primarily, honestly, so I not that it matters, but I live by myself. And, whoa! Tried to pass the ball down the left zone. Tried to get it into the hands of Michael Bolin. Couldn't catch the ball. Failed the pass. Boy, oh boy, what a shot taken by Con Kill. Turn 11 now for the Nosecount. But honestly, the filter is for my computer. My computer is so loud. It's like, it's not like sitting here, it's not quote unquote loud, but it's a constant, like if I record audio, it's a constant hum. And so I have to filter that out. Unchanneled Fury roll. Failed by Bumble. Failed the 2+ there on the block. Now Mighty Zug on the knockdown. No armor break. Not a lot of action. Well, a lot of action, but not a lot of armor breaks out of Mighty Zug. Hey, look at these guys. Oh, I didn't even know these were things that existed. Those have to be the cheerleaders, right? That's awesome. He's not that mighty. Mopey Zug. Dude, I block on the left side of the line here. Gets a pal. Tom Zarek on the block. Can't follow up, do defend, but did declare this as a blitz, so could arguably follow up, but I think he wants to reposition somewhere else. That's President Tom to you. Two-die block way back behind the line of scrimmage here. Gets a knockdown thanks to the block skill. So the number 2 Wolfwainer putting in a lot of work. We saw War Horsemen do this in their previous game as well. Really leveraging this Wolfwainer. Malik did as well in his game. Was it last night? Had really good leverage or really good use out of this Wolfwainer. Identified valuable targets with the Wolfwainer. Marked werewolves on the Necro team and just kept pounding them into the ground. Nosecount down to just 2 minutes 30 seconds on the bonus clock here. One reroll left for the game as well. The ball is free. The beer boar dodges freely. 2+ forever takes a mark on the ball. Turn 12 now for Entanglements. One of my business partners is trying to get me rock climbing again. I used to rock climb a lot, and I haven't been since the pandemic started. Two-die block over on the left side here against Werner. Gets a pal. Rock climbing, if you've never been, I highly recommend it. Everyone should try it. It's so much fun. It has it all. It has it all. You have to have the strength to climb, of course. You have to figure out a puzzle, especially when you're outdoors. Depending on how well marked the climb is. Like sometimes you can see the handholds by chalk marks, but you have to kind of figure out how to proceed, like where the holds are, how you're going to leverage them and stuff. But you also need willpower, right? Like at some point, you've got to overcome your own fear. And that combination of stuff I find very alluring. I love rock climbing. Dodge what? What? 3+ dodge to the 4+ pickup works out. Michael Bolin in possession of the ball. Climbing says strength. Nope. Solving puzzles. Nope. Bad back. I can't. Whoa! Whoa! Oh boy! My goodness! That was quite a play by Michael Boland. 3+ dodge, 4+ pickup, 3+ dodge with reroll, 2+2+. Man! And now Entanglements has the ball in the opposing 22-yard line. There he goes. Turn 12 now for the nose count. Man. Clevy says, strength, nope. Solving puzzles, nope. Bad back that can't lift more than 10 pounds, check. So should I rock climb? It's a lot less strength. Like, I think people think they need more strength for climbing than they really do. If you're, like, bouldering, definitely need a lot of upper body strength. But... both standing result. Both standing result. Michael Boland's going to remain alive on the blitz. But when you're not, oh, double skulls. That's going to be a turnover. Can he get another assist against the Valkyrie? Let's see. Turn 13. Final quarter begins here. Entanglements with the ball with a reroll. They get a block on Werner. One assist by Pat Cloverhitch. I'm sorry, one rush by Pat Cloverhitch can get the assist for the blitz. Couldn't free up Pat Cloverhitch on the block. Now a 2-die by Priscilla Presnott. This will get the knockdown to free up Pat Cloverhitch. Won't follow up here. Oh, he can follow up. That's fine. Breaks armor. Good armor break. One rush to assist. Oh, wait. He has Charles Windsor over here. He's free. But that's all right. Yeah, I think people think they need a lot more strength than they do for rock climbing. If you're bouldering, you need a lot of upper body strength. But if you're lead climbing or top rope climbing or something, here's the rush. Works out thanks to the rush. The emergency rush warning by S. Beaver. Thank you very much for the bits. Now it's a 2-die blitz by Michael Boland. But like if you're you know, technical climbing, like a vertical climb, generally speaking, you want your weight over your feet, so you're using your legs a lot. I mean, you're still using your upper body, of course, but you use your legs a lot more. In fact, you're often trying to find ways to use your legs instead of using your upper body, since your legs are so much stronger. Didn't take it as a blitz, so was going to try to stall this out for another turn. Wow. SP Beaver says it's a struggle to climb on stairs. I'm going to pass on a rock. Clevy says, how about we compromise and I play a rock climbing game? I had, for the longest time, I had a mountaineering game installed called Everest. 1-die block back at the line of scrimmage here. Gets the nothing. Gets knocked out thanks to the block skill. Turn 13 now for the nose count. It's a 0-0 ball game. But the ball carrier electing not to score here on turn 13. Can the nose count keep Michael Boland out of the end zone? I mean, if you do like a 100-foot climb, right? That's pretty easy. And where I live, at least, we are lucky enough to have lots of beautiful climbing all over the place. Like you can just walk in the woods and you can find awesome climbing. falling is easier. 2-dive block back at the line of scrimmage here. Gets the knockdown. Mighty Zug on the block. Mighty Zug continuing to get no armor breaks here. Yeah, I have a ton of climbing gear. I wouldn't trust any of my ropes or my harness anymore. I'd buy new ones, but way back across the line of scrimmage here, gets a pal against Cole Carrickbend. Nosecount doing a pretty good job of holding their own here, but they're in danger. Oh, who was going to be the blitzer there? Failed the dodge. Turn 14 for Entanglements. Are they going to try to reset, maybe in a half cage, maybe something stronger, and try to stall this out for another turn? I'd be getting scared. I'd be getting real scared. Yeah, we had a pretty cool, like, local climbing gym franchise around here. It got sold. I've never been back since. So. Under a minute here in turn 14. So repositioning, gonna try to stall this out for another turn here. He'll reposition Charles Windsor to cover the back left corner here. One dive block against the journeyman Margor, number 5 here. Towns squaring out on the block, gets the knockdown. Turn 14 for the Nosecount. They're in a bit of trouble here. Turn 14. Do they have anybody in scoring position? Sure do. Sure do. So the Valkyrie not quite in scoring position yet, but it's still a little early. Failed the 50-50 roll with the Yeti. Yeti's going to remain on the ground. Two marks taken against Town Square Knot. This is well behind the ball right now. I think the only real threat is going to be the number 11 Valkyrie here, but I don't know how he gets at the ball. I think he's just going to have to blitz and take a mark. Let's see what he decides to do here with 1:10 left on the clock. Two-dive block over on the right side of the pitch here. Gets the knockdown. Stand firm, not used here. So this is another interesting interaction in Blood Bowl that you should be aware of. Frenzy is, you must follow up on the block with Frenzy. Stand firm allows you to stay put. So if you, stand firm is optional. Most skills are optional. So if you choose not to use stand firm against a Frenzy player, that Frenzy player has to follow up. Oh man, he fell on his chin. He fell on his chin. Oh, I'm so sorry, buddy. Try to get him into position here for the assist to get the two-dive blitz on Pat Cloverhitch. It's not going to work out. Will Entanglements get this ball into the end zone here on turn 15? Or are we going to try to stall this out for one more turn? He did slide in there. I didn't like it. Hands off to Charles Windsor. Well done. So hand it off to try to spread out this SPP here. Got into the end zone. Very well done by Conkel. Not just for the score to take the lead in this ball game, but also understanding how to spread out SPP to level up your players. It's still early in the season. Very well done. Meeting's still going on because it always does. Entanglements setting up their defense here, spreading out very, very wide, covering a wide swath of the pitch here. They've got to defend for 2 turns. They still have a reroll. Cliffy says, not scoring when I'm able to is definitely a skill I should learn, but my players just want to get touchdowns so badly. Who am I to tell them no? I have the opposite problem. I get so skittish. I get so skittish that I make decisions that are probabilistically not in my best interest. Like I could take risks that I'm not taking, and they are probably okay. And when I say probably, I mean like a 5% chance of failure. Screening out the offense here, but way back on their own 12-yard line. Very wide on the line here. You can see 3 linemen, one of which is injured. He's the nose tackle. 5 on the line for the offense. Lots of players on the line now. 9 on the line for the offense. Burke, the journeyman, as the halfback. Number 11 back to receive. The number 11 Valkyrie. Here's the kick. Middling kick, and officious ref doesn't like Floyd Trucker hitch. Push on the line. Yeah, takes it doesn't use the wrestle there once, or didn't have the wrestle. I thought that was wrestle. That's fend. turn 16 for Entanglements now. They're in the lead. It's going to be very tough to stop. Or it's going to be very tough for War Horseman here to try to get on the board in one turn. Fail dodge in left wide zone. People are trying to fix something new. And I'm just like, yeah, that sounds good. Fail dodge on the left side of the line. Final turn of the game coming up here. Nosecount can't get into the end zone. They're going to lose this one 0-1, but very well played by both coaches, I think. This was a lot of fun. Difficult matchup. Difficult matchup for Nerdrum's Nosecount again in this match, I think. Up against a control team. This is a team that wants to take a lot of blocks, but at the same time, they want to take those blocks in such a way that they're pushing players away or keeping players safe because they have such low AV. And for Nosecount to keep as many people on the pitch alive as they have here in this game, I think that's a point to their credit. Still trying to get me to climb. Good catch. Pass here for some SPP on the number 11 Valkyrie. Picks up a point of SPP. Blitz has already been spent. He's going to foul. Foul number 7. There's one assist, it looks like. Could get 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 assists on this foul. There's 3. Electric Man says when they're done, you can take credit for fixing it. I will not do that. So +4 on the foul here. It's a 4+ to break armor. The GG foul gets called off the pitch. The ref's having none of it. Get out of here, Old Bridge. Oh, never mind. Stay on the pitch, Old Bridge. That'll be the end. 1-0. Conkill wins this one. Well done. Very, very well done. So with that, that is the end of Division C, and here are the Division C rankings at the end of regulation. The NC Snakes win the division. Moob's Dark Elf team, they'll be advancing to the quarterfinals. With Caiaphas' Odin and Snuffle in second place, they too will be advancing to the quarterfinals. 16 points is what's needed to make the cut. Unfortunately, no other team in Division C has made the cut, but look how close it was. Look at the top 5 teams there. Very well done. Very well played. Very competitive division. That was a lot of fun to watch. I was very interested in that matchup, despite me being in my Tuesday meeting. All right, let's take a look at the schedule before we leave. All right, coming up next, we have our next game this Saturday, April 19th at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's going to be the Believe Broncos versus the Birds of a Feather. BB Nut versus Galeshi. That's Nurgle versus Elven Union. And then after that, we have one more game to be scheduled. The Blitzburg Steelers versus the Dangerous Nice Crew. JD Whitey versus Connor. That's... I don't know what that is. That is Skaven versus Dark Elves. Both of those games... matter for making the cut in Division A. Moob says not streaming your game. No, I generally don't. But one more game left to be scheduled in week number 9. And when that games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to that schedule on our website at maml.club. That's maml.club here on Twitch or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, X, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, man. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store. Until this Saturday, April 19th at 2:00 p.m., I'm getting interrupted. Hold on. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday.